Lazarus in the book of John chapter 11, the faith of Martha and Mary, who are the sisters of their brother Lazarus who died, their faith on Jesus ended when Lazarus died. They were telling Jesus, if Jesus, you came before our brother died, he could not have died. Their faith to Jesus was limited to healing only. They took Jesus as a healer only. They couldn't see Jesus can go beyond healing to resurrection. They limited the power of God. They limited the power of God. The faith of Martha and Mary ended when Lazarus died. Their faith on Jesus was only on healing. But beyond healing, Jesus cannot go beyond there. Jesus told Martha and Mary, your brother will resurrect now. They said, we know he resurrects during end time, as written in Revelation 20. The dead will rise up during the judgment. You rise up in the... But Jesus said, now. They say, early time. Now. Early time. Because they thought Jesus cannot resurrect. Their faith was only limited to hearing. But our God goes beyond human listening. He goes beyond our ability. He can resurrect any dead situation. So our faith, my point was this. Your faith should not end in moving from developing country like Kenya, and you come to Australia, and that's the end of Jesus. The God is in Kenya is God in Australia. You cannot come from Kenya and go to Canada, and that's the end of the faith. The faith of Jesus on you was in Kenya only. Jesus was limited to what? There are so many people who move from developing country like Kenya, they go to Australia, or they go to Germany, or they go to Sweden, or they go to Canada, or they go to London, and that is the end of their faith. They become freelance Christian. They don't go to pray on Friday. They don't pray. They don't go to prayer vigil. We used to go to Kesha every Friday. They never go to Kesha again. They never fast. They never go to weekly meeting in the church. In church in every developed country like US, Canada, they still go for weekly meeting. They have Bible study. Even in Australia, but people from very developing countries, they come, they don't go for Bible study, they don't go for prayer. Their faith was limited to needs. Many people in developing countries, they are so devoted and religious. They believe in God only, most of them because of needs. And they are true Christians, not that they are pretending, not that they are showing up or they are worshiping God because of needs, but when people don't have many things, they are poor and they have a lot of problems, they tend to be closer to God. But when they are full, they go away from God. God knew that, and he said in the book of the Old Testament, when you go to beautiful country or you build good houses, don't forget me. Because God knew when things work well and no problem, you forget God. That's why you see so many rich people. They don't believe in God. It's not their wish. It's because when a human is satisfied, when he has reached self-actualization, when he has reached the area where he's blessed, he doesn't see the need of God. Our faith, in most cases, as human beings, is limited to needs. When need is fulfilled, no longer faith in God. We no longer worship God sincerely. We just become freelance Christian or leave God completely. So the faith of Martha and Mary and the mourners was limited to healing only. Jesus was late when he was told Lazarus was sick. When he lived in John chapter 1 verse 2, Jesus delayed for 2 more days. And Jesus told his disciples, it's for glory of God to be revealed, to show these people, I can not only heal, I can resurrect. It was done on purpose for God to reveal his glory. So their faith was limited to healing. Many of us, we are limited to God on needs. We can fast 40 days. We can fast for us to get a spouse. We can fast to get a partner to marry. But when you get that partner, you become freelance Christian or leave God. when you pray and fast even for 100 days, 40 days to get a visa to go to US, to go to Sweden, to go to Norway, to go to Australia, to go to America. You fast to get a visa. You go to Uhuru Park, you go to Arboretum, you go to Karura Forest to fast. But when you get that visa, when you are blessed, when you have permanent residence, when you have citizenship, when you have big car, you have 40,000, 50,000, you have car, you have money, you forget God. Not because you are a bad person, but as human nature, we tend to be not to be closer to God. But we need to know the truth. To be deep-rooted. The Bible says if your house is built on sand, you will fall. But if you dig a ground well and put very strong foundation, when the strong wind comes, it can't fall. It is the house that's built on strong foundation that stands. What does that mean? When you know God sincerely, you are deep-rooted in Jesus. Your foundation is strong. The Bible says in Daniel 11, those who have clarity, those who understand God, those who know their God, even during difficulty time, the shaking, they will stand because they know their God. It is the foundation, the problem. Most of us, when we are in problem, we don't know the foundation, the root, that it is Jesus when we have and when we don't have. Paul was saying, I am contented with God, whether I have or I don't have. We should know the truth that we were created to worship God, whether we have good, we are blessed or not, because in this world we are temporal. We live short life. You can die anytime, anywhere. Leave billions of money. Many rich men leave their billions in the bank and die. But Satan shows us money, mortgage, money. It's good to have mortgage. It's good to have money. It's good to have houses. But remember, primary is God. Colossians chapter 3, focus on things of God. Because you can die now and leave all those money and go to hell. The Bible says, how can you benefit if you lose the whole world, you gain the whole world, you have a lot of houses, a lot of money, a lot of car, a lot of business, a lot of money in the bank, and you lose your soul. Like the rich man and Lazarus. The rich man was so rich, he made Lazarus eat crap. That was another Lazarus, not the one in John 11 that I was talking about. Lazarus died, lived in crap, was eating with dogs. But the rich man was enjoying. But when they died, rich man was tormenting hell. Lazarus was in heaven. So better live with money or not and go to heaven. Let God be God when you're in Kenya, when you're in Australia. Let God be God when you're at work, when you're at home. Let God be God at home and at work. Let God be God when you are sleeping alone and you are alone in that bed, nobody's watching you. Let God be God when you are alone in a different country, nobody's watching you, nobody around you, no church member that will following you in your local country where people are looking at you. You have to be woman of the church. You have to be the head of the church. You have to be a head of construction in the church. You are monitored, followed by church member. You could not do sin. Now you go to a different country. Nobody's watching you. Let God be God, even when you're alone, when nobody's watching. Let God be God. Elijah stood against all odds when all had decided to leave God. All of them decided to worship a Baal, but Elijah stood and God stood with him. There is no way you can worship God and be put to shame, or God disown you or shame you. He will stand with you. There are so many saints: Joseph, Daniel, 3 Jews on fire, Hannah. All these people stood their faith. John the Reverend, and God stood with them. Even if you die, the Bible says it's better die or suffer for Christ than for doing wrong, because you still, whether you die or you suffer, there is a gain. Jesus was suffered, he was left alone, he was tormented, he persevered, and now knowing I'll be the future king of kings, and now he's the king of kings. Elijah stood against all odds, and he stood with God, and God decided to manifest his glory and power in the presence of all worship of Baal, including all prophets of God, decided to worship Baal. But Elijah stood and God manifested and burned his offering. The God of Baal did not burn anything. Acheni Mungu aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu. Mungu, student aitwe Mungu. Ukiwa Amerika aitwe Mungu. Ukiwa Uganda aitwe Mungu. Ukiwa kila mahali aitwe Mungu. Aitwe Mungu. Ukiwa kazini, ukiwa nyumbani aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu. Aitwe Mungu. Acheni Mungu. Aitwe Mungu. Acheni Yesu. Awe Yesu kila mahali. Usibadilishe imani yako. Mambo ikibadilika, let your Jesus. Don't be affected by circumstance. Our Jesus has unlimited power. Unapoomba na kufunga upate mchumba, wacheni Mungu. Aitwe Mungu. Hata ukioa, when you are praying to get a spouse to marry, when you are fasting to get a spouse, let God be God. When you get a partner and you get married and you get children, let God continue to be God. Even after marriage, let God be God. Even after children coming, let God be God. Even after getting children, when you have mortgage, when you don't have mortgage, let God be God. When you have student visa, when you have permanent residence, when you have citizenship, when you have student visa, when you have citizenship, when you have permanent residence, when you have student visa, when you have permanent residence, when you have citizenship, when you have permanent residence, when you have student visa, when you have citizenship, when you have student visas, when you have student visa, when you have permanent residence, when you have citizenship, when you get many people pray to get permanent residence, they work and work, they determine, they study and study. They study to get permanent residence. They work hard to get permanent residence. When you get permanent residence, when you get that paper, will Jesus still be God? Wacheni Mungu. Aitwe Mungu. Ukiwa student, ukiwa citizenship, let Jesus be God. presidents, hey Jesus, when you are citizen. Even when you don't have job, when you have good job, hey God, bigger. The Bible say in the Old Testament, let go bigger. When you build fine houses, when your status changes, let go bigger. The Bible say when your status changes, when you build fine houses, when you build fine houses, when your status changes, let go bigger. 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 Let Jesus be Jesus. Let Jesus be Jesus. Let Jesus be Jesus. Let Jesus be Jesus. Let Christ be Christ. Let Christ be Christ. Forever, 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 Jesus, 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 forever, 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 Christ, 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 family, in your family, in your family, in your family, Christ, 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 in your work, at work, at work, at work, Christ, 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 in Kenya, in Kenya, in Kenya, in Kenya, in America, Christ, yeah, in Tanzania, in Tanzania, in Tanzania, in Tanzania, in London, in London, in London, in London, in London, in Uganda, in Uganda, in Uganda, in Uganda, in America, in poverty.